I went through a very dark time in my life about 5 years ago when I lost my uncle.
Mm,
And my uncle was like, this was a man that lived on purpose. Like, I mean, living on purpose. He knew exactly what it was and he was living it.
right.
And when he left this earth, it was, oh my God, it just shattered me. And I went through the dark night of the soul.
Hmm.
And Teddy came into my life at that moment. I strongly believe God sent him in because it's what I needed to
Right.
pull me out of it. And
Right.
every morning when he's my first priority. When I get up, I get ready, I get dressed to take him out because he needs to go and do his business.
That's right. And
And
there's
when
the
I
responsibility. You're building responsibility in another way.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And when on my walk on the walks, especially when it's cold and it's winter, like he goes out no matter doesn't matter. He wants to go out, even if it's minus something,
Mhm.
he must walk. So I'm grateful for him because it gets me out every day, no matter the weather, no matter the
Right.
condition, no
Right.
matter if I'm not feeling well or have a migraine or so on. He gets me out of bed. He gets me out. It's good for my well-being. It's good for my
Mhm.
health. So I am grateful for him in every way. And the walks that as I'm walking, I'm like taking in nature and I'm grateful for the weather. So there's like, it doesn't have to be huge things to
No,
show
it doesn't.
gratitude
It
for, right?
doesn't. It doesn't.
Just
But the
little
thing
things.
is to build on it every day.
Yes.
And it doesn't ever have to be big. It could
Yeah.
always be little things. But if you set your mindset up correctly, then I'm gonna and now when you go out for the day, you go, instead of saying, ugh, I have to do this, I have to do
Mhm.
that, I have to go to work. Even if you hate your job,
Yeah.
say, I get to go to work. I
Exactly.
get to do these things. I get to go shopping, whatever it is. And that's will build the foundation. It's the planting the seed so that going forward, as you build on this, and every time you complain, say, wait a minute, why am I complaining? What's going on
Yeah.
here?
Mhm.
And become more aware of it
Yeah.
so that you become self-aware and self-conscious.
Exactly. And you just hit the nail on the head because asking those deep questions of why. Why
Mhm.
am I feeling this way is one of the greatest keys to unlocking your self-awareness. What's going on right now? Like what's triggering me? Why am I pissed off? Like
Right.
what or what did he say to me that's
Right.
triggering me that I'm
Yeah.
feeling this way? Why am I
100%.
angry, right? So
Yep.
it's
I have a
always
whole nother acronym that you talk about building your emotional strength
there you go.
with
Yes.
the same four letters.
Yes.
but it's about understanding, you know, because I took things personally, as I said, not everything or almost nothing
Mhm.
I should be taking personally,
Yes.
right? And it's when somebody's upset. Now, even if they're upset at me, am I taking it personally, or is something else going on that made them upset that
Mm.
they're taking out on me?
Mhm.
And even if they are, say, what can I do to diffuse this? How can I respond instead of react? Because I said I was like a counter keg. I was like a reactor, a nuclear reactor.
Wow. Yeah. So that's very, asking the deeper questions do help you build that
Yeah, yeah.
self-awareness.
And for that gentleman, you have to understand what your own values are.
Mhm.
And I thought I understood what values were until I went to coach training. And that helped me when I moved forward and started to date again. Because I'd go out on these dates and I would basically interview the women
Hmm.
without them knowing they were being interviewed
Yeah.
in conversation, asking them about what their values were by asking certain questions to get an idea and to
Right.
see if our values were as aligned as could be.
Okay.
Because I realized in my first marriage, we were so codependent. And I was so 25 years earlier when we got married, I was so enamored with this beautiful girl and my own lack of self confidence that our values were never aligned. Now,
Mm.
we had many good years, and I have 4 beautiful children and 8 grandchildren.
Mm.
And I have a
Congratulations.
very decent relationship with my ex wife now. Thank you.
Good.
But maybe we shouldn't have been married in the first place.
Hmm.
And I take responsibility for that, but I also take responsibility for the beautiful children I have and all that as well. So now moving forward, I'm like, okay. And I would go out on these dates and I would ask these questions. And one day I went on a date and this woman was checking off all the boxes.
Hmm.
I went again. I'm still checking off all the boxes. And about a month into it, I turned to her. I said, I got to tell you something. And it's not something you need to say to me, but I want to say it to you right now is that I'm falling in love with you because I love
Wow.
who you are
Right.
and who you're looking at me being and not trying to change me.
Amazing. So, what are some of those questions that you used as a,
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
yeah,
we'll be
share a
talking.
little bit if you
First, you
can.
have to figure out what are your values,
Mhm.
right? So my values are communication, honesty, and family.
Mhm.
So the questions would then be revolve around those types of things to
Right.
get a response to see,
Okay.
in other relationships, how were